What is happening, boys and girls? Jim here, RCAD. Blizzard 2.0 owners. Are you guys and gals out there having problems blowing tracks off of your Blizzard and you're wondering why? Why do I keep going through plastic tracks on my Blizzard? Is this something that is typical? Is this something that always happens with the Blizzards? No. It seems to be a problem specific to this one. I don't know if anybody else is having problems with their Blizzard 2.0. This Blizzard 2.0 belongs to my niece. It is we are on year number 2 with this. It's second season. Technically speaking, only its third run. Now, last year we bought this vehicle for my niece last year, 2023, the beginning of 2023, and on its second run we went through a set of tracks. First it was one side, then the other. They both ripped right down the middle, right at the connection points, just like this. But it looked like a razor cut, like somebody took a razor knife across the tracks. It was an even split, and I couldn't figure out why. I thought possibly it was a disgruntled employee at Kyosho. Maybe somebody's having a bad day and they took a razor knife and made a line across the tracks. Let's take a peek at those here. I should be more prepared, eh? I've got the tracks sitting over here in my toolbox, the originals. These guys right here. Here's our connection point where they get screwed together or fastened together. The cleat looks great where it fastens together. There's no damage to the cleat. But on the other end, it's just a straight cut. So this is one half and this is the other half. And once again, looks like somebody just took a razor knife to it. And it was the same way on both sides, driver's side and passenger side. And just couldn't figure it out. I assumed that somebody was just having a bad day at work and was taking it out on the vehicle and was just like, take that, and put a cut across it or something. But hey, I don't think that's the case. Never said that it was, but it was just my hypothesis on it. So we're currently on getting ready to put on its third set of tracks right now. So we replaced the initial set that went out on day 2 with this set right here, this one, and this one over here. Now, on our last video that we did, the Blizzard Fun 2024, about 5 minutes after we turned off the camera, my niece says, "Hey, Uncle, my truck's not working, it's not moving." Well, I discovered that her driver's side track was shredded, just ripped in half. Not only that, but the cleat is shredded where it gets fastened together. Now, I put these tracks together myself, and I am the king on camera for preaching about not over-tightening plastic screws, or screws going into plastic. And I did not do that. I just put them in until they stopped. I ran them in nice and easy by hand. Once they stopped moving, that was it, you know. So I didn't smush out the plastic or anything. They went in nice and easy. Bad angles, I apologize. But I was wondering, why are we tearing through tracks again, you know? We didn't get too many runs with it last year. Just the, maybe 3, I think. Or no, 2 runs. Yeah, the 2 runs, and then we put the new tracks on it. And it was pretty much season over for the vehicle. So we didn't get a chance to take it out after that with the brand new tracks on it. This year, we took it out for its first run. 5 minutes after we got done filming, she blew a track off of it. So I just got done replacing that track. This was on the driver's side. I just got done putting a new one on the driver's side over here. The last set of tracks, we got these, I want to say, out of California. I'm not too certain, but we got these off of eBay. And tracks, I tell you what, Kyosho, you guys need to get on the ball with producing parts, because the tracks are few and far between. We had to search high and low. It took forever to get the tracks. We were only able to find one complete set from one place. And then we got this third track right here out of Manitoba, out of Canada, just for one single track. So, Kyosho, you guys need to get on the ball with cranking out some parts of these things. And I'm not too sure when these things were even produced or how old the tracks are. Now, once again, couldn't figure out what the problem is here, why we're blowing tracks off of this particular vehicle. My Kyosho Blizzard FR, a.k.a. the Midnight Blizzard, because we have a Midnight Pumpkin body on it right now. This one I've had since, I want to say, 2018, February 2018 or 2019. It was when the TRX4 Bronco first was released. I bought my TRX4 Bronco at the exact same time, and both of them showed up probably within about a day of each other, the Bronco and the Blizzard. So the Blizzard's been through a lot of use and a lot of abuse. It's all been documented on camera. It has 2 Traxxas Titan 380 motors in there, runs on 2 axial AE5 ESCs, and 2 WL Toys 10428 2S LiPos. It's batteries out of a 10428 WL Toys. These guys right here, 3000 milliamp or 3 amp, and they fit nicely in the back of the Blizzard. 2 of these guys side by side versus your single battery. And much better runtime. So nevertheless, these guys have bigger motors in them, this one and the Trail King as well, and no problems with the tracks. The Trail King, I think we're going on season number 3 with the Trail King. Absolutely no problems with the tracks on this one either. So no problems with these guys. Why are we having problems with this particular vehicle? Well, I just discovered it. It comes down to our idler wheels and the lacquer finish that Kyosho had on the idler wheels on this particular vehicle. Maybe not on the others, but on this particular vehicle it does for sure. Now, I checked the tracks and the idler wheels to make sure that they were spinning freely when I reassembled these. And every time when I look at their vehicles, I always check on them to make sure that they're spinning freely. We're running bushings on these. There's no bearings in here. This one's being snagged up a little bit from its position. But they all spin freely. Now, when we're spinning these, we're actually pushing in on the wheel, right? When we're spinning it. Now, I discovered a problem with my nieces, and that was when you pulled out on the idler wheel, it came to a complete stop. The wheel was getting snagged, the bushing was getting snagged on the shank of the screw. Now, these screws, if you over-tighten these, yeah, these wheels will come to a complete stop. So there's a fine adjustment there between too loose and too tight to getting this into the right position. So on hers, our driver's side front right here was getting bound up. And it was on the outside. When you pulled back on the wheel, it was getting bound up on the shank of the screw. And that was because somebody had just too much lacquer on the screw. And when you slid the bearing down or the bushing down, it would go to about here. And it would come to a complete stop. And then it would like snap over that edge. And once it was there, it was locked. And that wheel was locked up essentially. And it wasn't spinning. So too much lacquer on the screw. So if you're having problems with your Kyosho Blizzard, you're blowing tracks off it, you can't figure out why they're not too tight, you got them nice and loose. There is a specific spot where you need to keep these. I keep mine when you pull forward on it like this, just to the point where the cleat is just about even. Oh, sorry about the camera. Just about even with the edge of the belt here. I apologize for that. It is really foggy there for some reason. Crank up the brightness a little bit. Just about right there. Kind of even with the edge of the belt. So it gives you a little bit of room for expansion if you get snow buildup in here. We also acclimate our vehicles every time. We always acclimate your vehicles before you go out and play in the snow. Meaning set them out in the snow, let them become, we put them out in a cardboard box or in a sled or something so there's a barrier between your tracks and the snow. If you bring a warm vehicle out to the snow, out to the cold, and you set it down, that warm track or whatever tires is going to melt into the snow, and it cools down and refreezes onto your tires or tracks, and you'll have a frozen spot there. So we usually elevate our vehicles. I've got this one sitting on a couple sets of tires, put them inside of plastic sleds, that way our tires or tracks are off the ground, and let them cool down for a couple hours. That way after everything is balanced with the outdoor temperature, and you won't have any problem with snow sticking and freezing to anything. If you just take it from the warmth inside, 70 degrees, 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and go outside to freezing temperatures, and you set your vehicle down and plug in the battery and take it for a drive, you're going to start getting snow building up on your drive cogs on one end, and it'll start to cam and just cam over and cam over. You might break your tracks that way because they're getting big snowballs built up on your wheels and all across the front of your drive cogs. It'll just pack in there like ice. So yeah, you got to acclimate beforehand. But if you run your tracks loose and you acclimate your vehicles and you're still blowing tracks off your Blizzard and you're wondering why, check these bushings and make sure that they're not freezing up here on the outer edge of the screw. So what I basically did here is I took our screw and used a little piece of emery cloth, which is around here somewhere, this little piece of emery cloth here, and wrapped it around the screw, pinching it like this, and then I kind of put the screw up against my workbench here on a knot, so I wouldn't mess up my bench and I wouldn't mess up the screw. And I use an electric screwdriver to spin the screw, or a drill to spin the screw, and then just polish that lacquer off of there with that emery cloth, giving us a nice smooth finish. And no more problems with the bushings freezing up on our screw. It's a nice smooth fit. Now a bearing kit would solve that problem too. You probably wouldn't even have to sand down the screw. Just put a set of bearings on there and you'd be fine, because the bearing would be, you know, pretty much attached or seized onto the screw at that point in time at the end, and would be spinning like it normally would. But these guys were essentially, once it hit that outer edge, the bushing was spinning inside the wheel instead of the bushing spinning on around the screw head there, around that smooth shank. So yeah, that was coming to a complete stop. Like having all your idler wheels locked up at once, and all that excess torque and pressure up here on your drive cog, and it just was literally shredding these tracks. So there we go, boys and girls. If you're having problems with your Kyosho Blizzard 2.0, your Kyosho Blizzard FR, your Kyosho Trail King, if you're having problems with any of those, with blowing the tracks off them, and you can't figure out why, once again, your track tension isn't too tight, you're acclimating your vehicle before you take it out in the snow, why is it blowing tracks off of it? Tracks are few and far between. You know, you're probably getting upset and not driving your vehicle, just leaving it up on the shelf. Check your bushings and make sure that they are not getting snagged on that extra dose of lacquer if they put too much lacquer on them, like they did with these. So yeah, polish them down and you should be good to go. A set of bearings would probably be good as well. So there we go, boys and girls. There's a final look at my niece's Kyosho Blizzard King 2.0. If you haven't seen it, this is part Kyosho Blizzard, part Kyosho Trail King. We got Kyosho Trail King bed on the back, or half the bed. The back half of the bed. Kyosho Trail King light pods back here. Had to do some trimming across the back. Nicely enough, Kyosho already has, the Blizzard body is already pre-marked. There's little drill holes or little indents marked in the bed for where the screw holes need to be for the bed on the Trail King, as well as where to cut around the back half for the tail lights to go in. The detents are already there. It did take some custom cutting across the front to adapt the Trail King grill to the front. So we had to remove quite a bit of plastic off the front of the Blizzard right here to accommodate that. But it was well worth it in order to have a set of lights on the front, lights up here in our light pod. We didn't need that Trail King front end to put the, the lights in our light pods, but the combination of the two is pretty nice. Having our racing ultra bright LEDs down here as well as up in here, and some tail lights in the back. It's very nice. Normal Blizzard 2.0s don't come with lights. This one, being part Kyosho Blizzard and part Kyosho Trail King, does. It doesn't look too bad, all in all. It'd be simple to run the plow. You just have to put a little cut in right here on this one's lower valance. That way you can run the servo horn through, or the servo arm through. Otherwise, pretty easy to mount up. Lights up here in the light pods. I do have a video on that. I put some reflective aluminum tape underneath these so the lights weren't reflecting off of our red body. They have something nice and shiny to reflect off of in there, and broadcast the light quite nicely out on the trail. Kyosho Blizzard King 2.0. One of a kind. All right, there we go, boys and girls. Quick look at our tracks and trying to solve our problem with blowing the tracks off this girl. And that problem being right there with just too much lacquer on the darn pins around the shafts. And once again, you can over tighten these, so be careful when you're reinstalling these. Don't over tighten them. You know, spin them down and give the wheel a spin and see how freely it's spinning. If it's not spinning too freely, then just back it off a little bit and give it another spin. Sometimes all it takes is just a little turn on it, and it's spinning like a champion. So make sure you're all adjusted right there, and you should be good to go. All right, that's going to do it, boys and girls. Very much appreciated for y'all sticking around and watching the video. As always, questions and comments are always welcome, and we will see you all on the next video. Thanks again.